Good afternoon. This is a quick overview of the SunglassFix Tailpin lenses for the Oakley Tailpin frame. I've got 3 sets in front of me. I've got them all installed, but I've also got 3 sample lenses in front of me as well. For the Tailhook, it's one of its brothers or sisters in the line, depending on how you want to refer to your sunglasses. So here's the green purple mirror. All the lenses come in a nice protective sleeve. They'll either be side by side or on top of each other. In this case, 2 lenses go into a pouch on top of each other, no big deal there. So these are the green purple mirror. You see they start to fade away that green once you get to the side view portal. It becomes like a black and a purple outside. So once you put them on, this is what they look like. And these are the SFX Ultra. So they have 3 tiers. There's a SFX, like a standard or non-polarized. Ultra is polarized and mirrors. And then they have a Diamond Bio, which is their top tier. It's made with some other materials, but they don't have mirrors on those. So if you want mirrors, you want to go into the Ultra, which are polarized, or the regular. These in particular, the green purple, are a category 3, as are the blue and the red. I'll show you in a minute. They have a VLT rating of 15%, so they're a good everyday lens for variable light conditions. Really like the the viewing angle here. They're the green purple specifically are a G15, so they're a greenish rose view. Give you a nice neutral viewing tone, make your greens pop. Very relaxing to the eyes. So that's the greens here. You can see they've got a very nice potent mirror. You can't see my eyes, even though I've got a high reflection, but like you would if you're out in the sunshine, all the way to the sides. They've got a nice AR coating on them as well to protect from, high reflectivity. I've got 4, canned spotlights in my room here. You can see if you look in the reflection right here that they're up there. And even though I've got all that light in the environment, you're not able to see my eyes, and these are not a high wrap lens. So that's nice. So that's the green purple. Nice looking pair frame here. Next are the light blue. These look similar to Oakley's factory Deepwater Prism, which never came in for this. So these were released early 2011, 12-ish, somewhere in there. So they didn't have these then, that lens specifically then. That's a newer lens that they've come out with. But it has that nice Deepwater Prism, like steel blue, light blue mirror. Again, very potent. You can't see my eyes or what I've got going on, even though I've got a lot of ambient light. These are a black-based lens in this case, where the green are a G15 base lens. So these are a neutral, very neutral. Give you like that gray, very even FOV. I really like these a lot. And then last are the red-orange. Similar to what you see today with like the Prism Ruby. Less of the purples and just more orange and red. Put those on. Now these have like a cool blue, if you will, like a cool blue-gray viewing palette. So these are definitely easy on the eyes. Again, all 3 are a VLT rating of 15% or 85% tint, and come in these pouches. The entry point on them is $25 to $30 a lens, because these are a rather big lens. They're polycarbonate, or polyamide is what they call them in SunglassFix, but they are a poly material. They're not, important thing being they're not a triacetate. So they have impact resistance, scratch resistance, hardened coatings, things like that. They're not going to shatter. They're not a cheap material. They're very thick, as you can see here, but they still fit into the notches. And specifically with this frame, this is a rimless design frame. One of the few Oakley's done. There's 4 in this family, and they sit into these notches. These are a very niche frame, set of lens here, in particular, that Oakley, or that SunglassFix is filling a need for. Oakley didn't do a lot of replacement lenses for these. So if you have a pair and they're worn out and you're thinking, well, now I got to get rid of them because I've worn them out, it's nice that there are a few companies out there that produce these lenses. I like SunglassFix's specifically. Their color options, the mirrors are good. The fit's been good. They've fit right every time. I haven't had to go modify anything to get them to fit the seat in correctly. The big thing you'll want to do if you've never replaced the lenses in these kind of frames, specifically these rimless, when you will stretch the frame a little bit, you'll pull it apart just enough to get it to pop out of place. When you do that, don't overstress it. You don't want to bend the frame's natural shape. You don't want to break it. And then when you're putting it back in, you can either put it in on the nose side first or the outer, the temple side. Doesn't matter, whichever one seems to go, that's the way you should go with. Don't force it. If it doesn't fit, don't make it, because you could damage the coating and possibly start to separate the mirror from the base if you chip it, get under it, whatever, because they are a very, these are a very particular lens, as opposed to some of the ones that go in your wires or in your plastic, frames, if you will, or composite frames that snap into place. These don't snap in, so don't push down on them to get them in. You want to just, pull it apart, notch in. Once you've got that, hold it in place, pull the stem or the nose, and then once you get it notched in, kind of push together to seat it, and you should be good. Okay, so with that, that should be really all you need. SunglassFix is great about getting them to you quick. They include a nice little cleaning bag as well. Let me see if I got one available. I do right here. So they'll send you a white cleaning cloth bag. It's a very soft microfiber. It's great for cleaning the lenses. Where some are more coarse, this one is not. So it does a great job polishing it without leaving dust, debris. And so, yeah, they're a great company. They're based out of Australia, if I didn't say that already. So they're going to take a little time to get to you. If they don't already have them in stock, you can order them on Amazon or directly from them. I don't know if they have them on a eBay page or not, but either way, their customer service is outstanding. I did have one pair come where there was like some miscoloring on one of the mirrors. Production batches, there's batch issues that happen with anything, any product that's mass produced, or these are cut, on order. They don't just have a stack of these waiting, so they'll cut them for you when you're ordering them. And then they'll get them out to you. If you do the expedited shipping, you should have them about 5 to 8 business days from the time they send them, because they've got to clear customs coming in to wherever you're going. In my case in Alabama, I usually get them 7 to 8 business days worth of the post office. So that's a Monday to Saturday. And then they'll be at my house. They come in a nice little, biodegradable cardboard sleeve. I check them, make sure there's no issues with the mirrors, the fits, and then, get them into whatever frame. So again, these are the steel light blue. You've got the green purple mirror. So I'm giving you 3 options out of the many that they have, and the red orange mirror, and what they look like. And then so that's what the view looks like when they're on you. Let's go ahead and do a little quick demo, even though we're not outside, of what the view when you're looking at them does. So you can see here what everything looks like. I've got the same lens, the red orange mirror, for my Tailhook, the square version of that same frameless aviator. So we've got the back side. You can see the reflection of what's going on. All right, me, and then you put it on. It's like a nice neutral grayish blue. Looks good. Sorry about the dot. That's not typical. That's an indoor thing. Just because of the green dot for the recording there. So that's, if we didn't have that, that wouldn't be there. So there's the red orange mirror. Here's the green purple. You see it gives you like a rose almost, similar to like a Prism Maritime, if you will. So there's that. And then here's the steel blue. I believe this is the, yep, there's that side. So there's the camera, and we're in. So it's a nice, even, kind of like, almost like you're wearing a black mirror lens, but with the blue mirror. So they're good company, great customer service, affordable, much cheaper than buying factory lenses. Factory lenses can go between $80 to $150 polarized. For a lot of your Oakley, Ray-Ban, various, top-end frames out there, you can get these for there's about a $10 variance depending on the size of the lens, because obviously more material and different samples that you have to make, or start, blanks you start from. In this case, these are right out $46 a pair. They do offer promo codes from time to time, and you have the option to pay for expedited shipping. But I've got them in several frames, really happy with them. And again, I'll put back on the light blue. So nice potent mirrors on them. They're very good, great for scratch resistance and you know, sweat, chemicals, things like that. They clean very easily. All I usually do is take a simple, you know, glasses lens cleaning cloth. I clean them often so that I'm not putting a lot of dirt and debris, and then just, you know, gently polish them up when you're ready, and you'll be good. They look good. I've had them in my frames, a couple different frames, for well over a year and plus, and had no issues with what's it called, delamination, where the coating starts to come apart inside or outside from sweat, salt water. We have a pool, anything like that. I haven't had any issues. So SunglassFix makes some great lenses, durable. I've had these Tailpins for about 6 months, replacement lenses specifically. I've had them longer in frames like this right here, the Oakley Gauge 8, the green purple mirror, for example. Had them in there for close to 12 to 13 months, and they're in my daily my weekly rotation, no issues. So hopefully this is helpful. Anybody's on the fence about buying them specifically for this niche frame, because it's not your traditional lens replacement style. They don't pop in or out, and they don't screw in or out to like a housing. They notch in, which is unusual. There's not many frames that are like that, and there's not many companies that do this because of the additional work. It's not as easy to reproduce in that regard and not have, you know, production loss. So I appreciate SunglassFix for being one of the few that does this, but they put out top quality. They're, in terms of thickness, give you, all right, so this is the factory jade, and unlike the factory lenses that have that faux mirror and then you've got the notches, you'll see that these have none of the fake lens orbital housing. It's a nice, clean, even mirror. But the lensing housing, like you see how thick this is, let's put the factory beside it. The factory is thinner. So you have to be particular when you put these in, because they are a thicker lens. You know, don't force it if it doesn't fit. But they're actually, I would say, superior to Oakley's factory lenses in that regard. You know, they have less flex, and they're, I think, a 1.8 millimeter thickness. So, and they polish them, so there's no spurs, burrs, shavings, anything like that. Like, they look professional. If you weren't an Oakley person and didn't know what the factory lenses looked like with that fake mirror, you know, you wouldn't know that these didn't come like this as a result. And they look really sleek this way without the faux mirror, in my mind. They're great, you know, dress looking sunglasses, or you could, you know, business. They look great either way. The tailpin, the tail end, the tailback, and the tailhook are very, you know, very nice style in general. But this specifically for these lenses, it's nice to be able to extend the life. And because Oakley's long since discontinued the production of them, if you were to buy a frame only from somebody and you want to bring them back to life, there's only a couple options to get lenses. So SunglassFix is one of them. They do a great job. Can't say enough. Hopefully it helps you what you're looking for.